Good afternoon everybody, it's Hugh from Berthon. Today we're going to have a look around this beastie here. She is a 2015 built, 2017 commissioned Targa 44 by Botnia. She was built in Finland. She is completely tricked up. It's the biggest spec one of these boats we think we've ever seen. She's absolutely fantastic. Really superb 8-berth setup. Let's go and take a look on board. Hello everybody, it's Hugh from Berthon here with MINERVA. So we are looking, as the ones that know these boats will agree, at a beautiful Botnia Targa 44. So she was laid down in 2015 but wasn't actually commissioned in 2017. She is an original ownership and is an enormously specified example of her type. So built up in Finland by Targa. She has a deep V hull with 3 spray rails, so plenty of lift in her. We'll have a look at that V in a moment. Loads of flare in the top side, so a very dry riding boat and extremely capable. She's got a protective keel band and a copper coated underwater hull with white boot topping and then flag blue hull. Plenty of teak all over these boats. They are incredibly capable. And interestingly, she's on DPH outdrives, which are driving a pair of 400 horsepower Volvo Penta D6s. So twin props on her. She's got everything on board. So she's fitted with a stern thruster. You'll have also noticed that she has an electric anchor aft, bathing ladder, D-rubber fender, which was an upgrade right around her. And she's running with Volvo Penta automatic trim also. These large extended bathing platforms are covered in teak. She's got a Hurley davit system and an Eberspacher D5 heating system. And as you come facing forward, you've got this ballroom of an aft deck. So a couple of steps just leading up onto that. She's been owned in Guernsey and is, as you can see, in our customs warehouse, so is able to be sold free of VAT for those qualifying types. We've got the bridge deck box here with a fridge compartment on the port side, more storage either side. We've got aft deck wash and shower. She's fitted with rod holders right around, plenty of stainless steel to support this high fly bridge, and that's a really neat storage solution for one of her tables, of which there are many. So we've got access up to the fly bridge. We've got walk around side decks with this big timber rail running right the way. She's just going to go into our sheds for a little bit of treatment on her teak shortly, but you can also enclose the whole aft area with a canopy system. So that has been very sparingly used and is all in dry store inside the boat, and she's fitted with a full CCTV system. So teak decks running forward. We've got fillers on either side. We've got plenty of deckwear on her. That's access again over the side deck with a nice teak treadboard. Access in through the starboard deck door. We've got ventilation for the forward heads ensuite, and then we have deck scuppers here. So it's a really properly built boat, this, and massively specified. So we've got a forward sun pad with removable central section. Again, more teak up here. We've got the hoop that goes over the forward if you want to climb over the front, so very Scandi style. And then the offset anchor there with a 20 kg stainless being driven through a Lumar V3 windlass. More deck wash and gas up forward. And then we've got a forward canopy system with the supports just lying neatly up here on her coach roof. So that's your forward sun pad. Got extra lights, extra running lights on top. Also a massive pair of foghorns, more about that later. But it's a really workmanlike boat. It's incredibly safe. So these rails are coming well over my hip height. Running back, beautifully done throughout. She is an amazing offshore hull. One of these did the round Britain beautifully a few years back. We've sold them to commercial operators. They are used by harbour police and military. It's an exceptionally well found hull. So this is your high fly bridge. So there's a big cantilevered aft deck. And we've got seating forward. You've got plenty of access for life rafts. She's got a deck crane as well. You've got all of this lighting, big radar system, and she's fitted with FLIR. So she's got infrared camera and wind anemometer also. That's the seating for the second life raft, which is in date until 2027. And that's also really useful for storing tender up on if need be. The seating on her is hardly touched. It's always been undercover. It's beautifully upgraded with a lot of grammar kit down below also. And then we've got this forward area. We've got double comm system on VHF with a little locker in there, which is really useful for covers. We've got Fusion stereo system, which is an upgrade. Autopilot's just on here. You've got Volvo display screens, a 16-inch plotter by Raymarine. Really nice rugged wheel here, which is adjustable, of course. She's fitted with all of the Engbo windlass stuff. We've got Volvo controls, side power, bow and stern thrusters. Really neat little touches throughout. And she's of course got Volvo docking system and a pair of these enormous Hadley air horns, and they do wake the dead, so don't be near there when you hit the button. So really neat double seat over to port, single seat over for the helm on starboard. Footings for the table, and we'll just head down through this really neat stairway and go and have a look at the stuff that makes this girly go. So that's your aft little joystick system station. So real easy to dock, all electronic steering, another Fusion stereo head, and we'll just go and have a look what is underneath this beautiful teak laid aft deck. So Botnia Targa, they just build the most phenomenally competent boat. So rather than having silly little deck hatches, the whole lot comes up. So you've got these two dining tables of hatches here. The one on the port side has got your tables sat in these bags here, really neatly strapped in. The starboard one has storage for deck chairs, etc. Looking right down at a pair of D6 400s, so they'll drive this girl to around about 32 knots, and an amazing installation in the engine room. So extra fuel tanks fitted, generators over there on port, big extra capacity hot water calorifier. She's got everything from seawater maker, she's got a Spectra in her, to additional air compressor pumps. You've got inverters, you've got batteries, all of it. You've got even a spare place to store your spare props, so huge amount of attention to detail. As said, she's got extra fuel capacity. That's your waste outlet and fuel stop pumps. And it's got a really neat system as well for transferring fuel between your tanks. So sliding aft door, again, it's an extra option on these, but you're into this phenomenally competent wheelhouse. Beautifully satin varnished teak in here, and the execution is just so wonderful to see. Massive solid stainless steel supports everywhere, louvered doors. You've got all of your switching exactly where you want it, so this deals with all of your isolation running through. We've then got fuel pump for your extra fuel transfer. That's your Ventura 150, which is your spectral water maker. Master Vault Easy View gives you instant battery indication. She's got a Fisher Panda. That's your Seafire for fire suppression, and she's also got this big Eberspacher D5. But this is what Botnia are really about. Massive storage, all louvered, beautifully finished, just exceptional. Just the finish inside, I mean, look at it. It is just beautifully done. And not an inch of wasted space. All of this stuff is louvered, so beautifully done. So we've got a linear galleon onto the starboard side here. It's got loads and loads of stuff. It's got a spare coat hook, so you can hang up your jacket when you want to go and grab yourself a cup of tea. Loads and loads of drawer storage, and a really neatly done, deeply fiddled Corian worktop over to starboard, just with all of this natural light coming in through here. So we've got a double grill, which is gas, set in there. It's got a really nice Siemens combi microwave oven type job. A fridge underneath with freezer compartment, and then this is super neat. Check this out. So you take your top from your sink, which is there, you drop it in, and you have extra worktop space and a chopping board. It's just so beautifully thought out, and it's endemic of the whole ethos behind this boat. So you've got hot and cold mixer tap there. Again, all of this wonderful natural light. You've got extra lighting from this Dometic fan system if you need it. And look at this. So you think, oh, where do I need my kitchen roll? I need it here. So Botnia, make it. And again, all of this light coming in. It's a really super neat system. So looking aft and over to port, we've got loads of storage back here. That was an extra, really nice set of clocks, barometers, etc. You've got switchable lights with incandescent bulbs. You've got also LED down lights throughout, and there's a lot of reading lights and also more sort of accent lighting. So drop down table with a conversion there if required. Loads and loads of light coming through, and it doesn't feel dark inside here at all. I've got everything opened up. She's got Climber 17. She's also got electric oil filled radiators throughout, including the engine bay, if you saw that one. And massive specs. So this is an upgraded Grammar seat. It's got suspension, it's got powered adjustment here. It's really nicely done, sitting on a nice plinth with heat on it to keep your tootsies warm, and nice headrest and side armrests and a kick plate, and you've got instant access out onto that starboard deck, and you've got a cleat pretty much straight outside. So all the way around this wheelhouse, super workmanlike. So you can pivot the wheel, you can adjust the boss on it. We've got reflective blinds, the side screens and the 3 forward facing screens to keep sun out when you need it. Engine displays up above. We've got a pair of 12-inch screen plotters there. More plotters down here. Everything super neatly done. So look, you can just pivot this wheel down if you want that height using this knob. And you can also bring it down a little bit more. The whole lot moves, so you can get it exactly how you need it. And you've got a kickboard there just for supporting, and there's your heater outlets for your feet with a bit of storage, of course, underneath for more stuff. So pair of little screens, everything from demisters to cup holders, another joystick station on this. She is, of course, on outdrives. Nice Cassins compass, again, more ventilation, more communications kit up top. You've got a searchlight which can be manually operated from the helm. We've got these 2 opening lights here, which of course can be covered if needed. It's just beautifully done with this beautiful timber ceiling. So a pair of forward facing seats here, which are bolstered and adjustable, and are done in this really nicely done Alcantara finish, and it is completely unmarked. It's in exceptional condition. Oddments drawer here, a couple of little drinks holders as well. It's got full history, and all the manuals are just down underneath those 2 seats down there. And then your forward accommodation is through this companionway. So we can drop this down. It's got more storage underneath here for charts. It also can be lockable. And then there are 2 swinging doors that separate the whole lot if you want some privacy. So pair of gas rams, 2 steps down, accent lighting. The lights are there just where you need them, and a nice big firm handhold. And you're down and you're straight into this forward area. Now it's really neat. Ahead of you, you've got an ensuite. You've got a really neat single berth that's transverse, or can also make a really useful store. So it runs over to starboard side and then over to port, and there's a locker, there's heat, there's an extinguisher, there's reading light, all of that. Little curtain pulls across there. It's so well done. We'll have a look in there in a moment, but that's just your ensuite. And you've got a big double berth here with plenty of light, storage in this big hanging locker with drawers beneath. That's your Eberspacher, and that's your oil-filled radiator. So you've got different ways of heating and ventilating the boat. You've got a few cupboard hooks up there, really neat alarm system throughout. And then we've got a nice ensuite with a sober Baby Nova washer dryer. You've got your sink, you've got a Sani Marin loo, which is electric through to holding tank. It's got heat in here. A really nice shower which just hits up on here, and then we've got a teak grating down to evacuate that as required. So that's your forward accommodation. So heading back up here up this beautiful floor, and underneath that carpet, by the way, there is a full teak and holly floor. But we're back here into this beautiful saloon. So walking back, you can imagine how safe this is when you're underway. You've just got stuff everywhere to grab. And now we're looking down into the aft accommodation. So we've got 2 cabins down here, ensuite head, or rather a shared head, 3 steps and you're down. And ahead of us, we've got this big separate double berth. So massive double berth. It's got plenty of lighting options. It's got ventilation. It's got loads of storage. It's heated both via hot air. It's got extra storage behind this mirror, which really neatly flicks up, and also these flick up, so you've got stuff around your bed. You've got deep locker storage as well. There's a hanging rail in here, and we've got a load of the boat's kit just tucked in here. Everything has those little automatic lights, and there's also a full lighting options thing with dimmers as required on the boat. So there you go, another heat vent, another radiator. And this is a really nice pilot berth. So it's over on the starboard side, 2 opening port lights, big berth, and again, it's just got access to everything. So it's got all of your breakers labelled down here. The breakers can be found just inside these 2 neat locked doors. Keeps everything out of the way, everything is accessible. And then we've got this shared loo at the back with a big shower in it. Again, it's got powered ventilation. Nice locker in there for storing your bits and bobs. Big people build these Targas, so it's a decent sized shower with a nice grate at the bottom and a full fold out screen. This is Minerva. She is a 2015 Botnia Targa 44. She actually only hit the water in 2017. She has done 262 hours on a pair of D6 400 DPHs. You should definitely come and have a look at her. She is an absolutely brilliant example of her type, and thank you for watching.